UConn has went back to back, winning 2 March Madness tournaments in a row. Let's dig into that. Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to drop some comments below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out.
Yeah, so Zach Edey and Purdue, we were saying if it was going to be any year, it was this year. And it just doesn't happen for them. UConn is too good. They've been dominating this tournament for a while now. And they come out on top impressively. What were your main takeaways of this championship game for the men's side?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of does bring up the age-old question. The question that we've had about Zach Edey this entire time. Is he good or is he just tall? I think we've seen it on display fully here with him going against Klingen and having a body that actually kind of matched his body, that someone that was that big that can actually protect around the rim. And Zach Edey really doesn't have a whole lot of moves in his belt. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a big bag. He has a couple of them, and it's like, all right. And every time it felt like Purdue was on the court and it just felt like that they had to work extra hard to get any points. But UConn was scoring with ease. So it just felt like every basket for Purdue was in the first half like, okay, we're fighting tooth and nail, and then UConn would just go down and get an easy bucket. And it was like, how long could this really keep up? And then we've seen the second half, they just kind of took it away and dominated like they did this entire season and this entire tournament run. It was, one, really impressive to watch, and two, kind of sad for Purdue because you know that realistically, even though their guard play was vastly improved from last season, it just wasn't good enough to get them over the hump. And now you lose Zach Edey, and it's like, all right, did our window just close here?
Yeah, and it's you knew UConn was going to play great defense, and they were just going to be a great system overall to go against. Zach Edey went 37 and 10, but if you look at the rest of the team, Braden Smith goes 12-8 assists with 3 rebounds. No one else on the team had more than 5 points. And only 3 other players scored points at all for them. So really tough to run an offense like that when one guy who doesn't have a lot of tricks in his bag, he's just bigger, is your entire offense, literally your entire offense.
Yeah, and the thing about that too, if you look at his plus minus, he was minus 10. So it's not even like it was efficient points. Like, he was just matched up really well against Klingen. Yeah, he got his when he needed to, but at the end of the day, UConn was just a powerhouse, and they just kept doing what they did this entire season and this tournament run that we've seen for the last 2 years, which is we're going to suffocate you on the defensive end. You're going to be so dog shit tired that we're just going to breeze by you and score easily.
Yeah, could they three-peat? Do you think they got it in them? I mean, the coach is great.
This was even a surprise repeat at the beginning of the year because the last year in this offseason, they lost like 5 of their best 8 players moving into this. So it was like, okay, well, how good are we really going to be? And then you see them and they're better than I think this entire year, they were better than they were last year. I had said it at the start of this tournament, like, hey, this team is probably better than them. And they were smashing people during the tournament. And now look at this. So, I mean, we know that Dan Hurley is an awesome coach. There are rumblings because Coach Cal has left Kentucky. They're like, hey, I seen one report that they're like, hey, they're going to try to make a move on Hurley to see if they can just offer him just a boatload of money to leave. He had already come out in his press conference and was like, hey, talk to my wife. I don't think we're moving anytime soon. So we'll see. But I mean, it's different when you're faced with a pretty much endless zeros check. You know what I mean?
But I think why would he leave UConn where he's performing at the highest level for Kentucky, who's kind of been a disappointment lately? He could easily tell recruits, like, listen, I win championships. What the fuck else do you want?
That's true. I mean, the thing is...
Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb. Fuck. Sorry.
Don't do it. Don't.
Peter, I'm sorry.
Do it.
Peter, in our comments, He's
Yeah.
very mad that we drop F-bombs. I'm sorry. I'm trying to clean it up. But like, why the frick would what would he leave UConn to go to Kentucky when he's built a great program, he's built a winning culture, and I feel like he can get good recruits, high quality recruits there.
Yeah, and I think now are we going to start like referring to UConn as a blue blood system? I know for the longest time we've considered blue bloods like UNC, Duke, who else? Kentucky, but UConn has won 4 national championships in the last 25 years. So is it time to be like, hey, UConn's up there on this pedestal. They know exactly what they're doing. Year in, year out, it's going to be a good program.
Yeah, and Kentucky can't win in the tournament. And that's well, I don't know if you want to talk about the Calipari thing right now, because I'm still kind of reeling, like, what happened there? Were they getting rid of him, or was he leaving himself?
I think he did it on his own. They had already come out. I don't know how in depth we want to get on this, but
well, let's cut it here. We'll
okay.
talk about this on another one. You guys let us know in the comments how you felt about that championship game, and make sure you subscribe, because we're doing a lot more basketball coverage, and we're covering all kinds of sports here. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Peter, we'll clean up the language for you. See you next
Later.
time.